Hello. You're early. Yeah, I'm late. Okay. So I've had to use my phone for the camera, so I'm hoping you can hear me. Give me a heads up if you can't. I look terrible, but it's the way it is, okay? Already having those eclipse energies coming through for me personally on my side of the fence, so it has been interesting. And the Mercury energy really does make sense when it does come to the communication, and definitely when I look at the astrology for the eclipse, OMG. That's all I can say. Now, we're moving into January, okay? And I wanted to give you guys some aspects, some things that potentially, hi Elizabeth, that can be happening. Now, I have pulled 3 cards, past, present, future, of how we're going to move through that. Now, I don't just want to focus on the eclipse because it's not just the main theme. Although any eclipse, especially on this occasion, it's going to tie over through to June, around June the 5th, where we're going to have more energies coming through. The Neptunian energy is going to benefit us through this transit coming into January. And so really what my highest advice is, there's themes going on around this eclipse, but it's not just, like I said to you, there's 2 energies playing out. Morning, Dale. There's the energy of the conjunction occurring, and that's quite heavy, okay? And we know that the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn, that energy has been playing out all year, and it's coming through into 2020. Now, yes, in March, the actual nodes are changing, but we're already getting an aspect of that frequency. And definitely with the Mercury energy, it's already creating that distortion, okay? Now, some of those energies, both around the eclipse and the conjunction, it's like you've got 2 nodal energies playing out. Now, yes, we can look at astrology and history and we can link back to what those things are, but definitely the highest warning is we can be triggered, okay? We can be talking from, and we always go the red, yellow, green traffic light here at Yildiz Readings Tribe, okay? So, we're getting triggered. There's toxic energies around us, however that be. We can also transmute that ourselves due to a frustrated energy, okay? That's why I've suggested tourmaline, onyx, definitely with heart chakra. I would also get anything connecting in with, your chakra systems to get balanced. Now, the one thing I have noticed, and if you do actually go and Google chakras of the planets, where the actual energy is coming through is in the higher hemisphere. So yes, we call it different things, okay? So there's a chakra system through the world, and it sort of goes like the figure 8. Some people call it the rainbow serpent, and there's other terms for it. I'll go into that in a separate video. The energy activation is at the higher hemisphere, so you can actually find a frequency more so with situations playing out in America, in the higher parts of the hemisphere. But again, connecting in, I'll have to put a tab note in. I was trying to use the computer, but it wasn't working with me. The chakra, I do feel, is linked in with the higher hemisphere. So I will give you a heads up about that after the fact and tune into it further. Hi, Carmen. So I can actually give you my interpretation. Now, the first card we've got for this eclipse, and I will still talk about the actual aspects. We've got the 4 of Cups. And I was sitting there, and these are new cards, so I'm still trying to connect in with them. So I did some research in this, and I'm a visual psychic medium as well as psychic medium in general. So using the cards has started to become unique in my own way. Okay, I'll just say that. Now, with the 4 of Cups, yes, we can look at things as boredom, but I'm reading this card quite differently. Now, this is past tense energy, okay? And the light's poor because of the computer. Now, with this, the energy that's coming through in the past tense position, obviously, the young woman is sitting under the tree, which again, the eclipse being in Cancer, there's deep reflection towards the past. Tree connects in with family. Also with the eclipse being in Cancer, yes, there is family-related dynamics coming up. Now, when you get the eclipse energy from the previous to now, the previous Cancer eclipse to now, you've got to think back to what was going on back then, and sometimes even further back, and then link it into what is potentially going to transpire now. If those things have been balancing out and you've been doing the work in those areas, again, some energies can actually rear their head. Now, this can be a very karmic time. So interestingly enough, it is very driven by masculine frequency coming through with this moon phase, even though the moon directly does link in with feminine, okay? When I say masculine, it's more due to the Capricorn frequency coming through, you know, really looking at things from a work domain, a financial domain. The terminology people may be coming up with around that time and the way they're articulating things towards you can be very, very vindictive, very aggressive. This can even be coming through in you because of a block and things going on in your direct external environment or internally. This energy with the Capricorn and Cancer eclipse playing out with the conjunction is going to be very heavy. So mindfulness is going to be absolutely necessary. Now with this card, there is an owl near her right ear. Now I've got to tune into that. Again, overactive masculine energy. The left, when you're getting a pain body experience on the left and it's overactive, it means your feminine's out of balance, okay? So this is the masculine energy becoming very heightened. And this is where feminine energies potentially can actually be struggling, okay? And they do mention this because of different aspects that the conjunction and the eclipse is going to be making. Now, Sirius is linked in this, and definitely with other aspects. It does link into the working woman. And this can be with your mother, it can be with other feminine energies, people you directly work with, it can be your own energy of multitasking, even in a regression sense, in a pain body sense, looking at needing to multitask, okay, at a very high level and not being able to directly have that time. And that's for males and females. Not being able to have that time to tune into how you feel because you're being pulled in two directions, okay? So for men and women collectively, what you'll find is there will be an over-heightened energy when it does come to reform, government, finances, work, needing to get things together. Now, although the previous eclipse in December was positively aspected, if you have done what you needed to do, and we always have, theoretically, let's just look at it theoretically, we always have done the best we can do. If you have placed steps into place and you have been clearing out, preparing, open to this movement, moving forward, ready and willing to move through the energy to do all you can within your power, that's all you can do, okay? If you have known that you've needed to do things, as the Leo King has been mentioning, this month will be difficult, okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because of the aspects coming up. Now, it is going to be very work orientated. It's going to be very family orientated and a bit like the scales. And I'm seeing justice in my mind's eye. I'm seeing the balancing of the scales and multitasking. Now the outcome card is positive, but it is not for the fickle-hearted, okay? It really is not for the fickle-hearted because at the heart of the matter, moving through the moon energy, and they deem this as the Gemini Towers, okay? Within the actual book in this deck, the actual arches are connected. And it's interesting that there's a moon there. Now, it's the Two of Wands. And it's looking at really, especially with the box that is fate, it's like almost something directly in front of you, you know? And it's two direct choices needing to be made. In this eclipse, it's two energies playing out. Now, notice it almost looks like the devil. Okay, when it does come to the arch, right? Or the on the card, you know what I mean, right? Really? I've mowed the lawn, so I'm not looking so fantastic. I want to get my beauty regime on before New Year's Eve, but I'm trying to finalise tasks. Thank you. So with the Two of Wands, it's like the tools in the hand. Again, the focus. What else am I seeing on this card? Interesting. So with this eclipse energy, again, as I mentioned, there are two energies, you know, in two dream states, right? There's the Capricorn energy and there's the Cancer energy. So it's like they're culminating and they're coming together. Now, this card very much is about your intuition, but it's also about being split And it's about you only being able to make the decision. So you could be pulled in two directions. And again, yes, as I mentioned, for males and females, we have been moving into this frequency of attempting to balance everything out in our life for 2019. It has been heavy since 2012 and beyond, but it has amped up, and it's been preparing us for 2020. The energy of Aquarius coming through, because Saturn's moving into Aquarius. The nodes are changing into Gemini and Sagittarius, which again is very much Mercury and Jupiter energy coming through. But the Capricorn energy is going to continue, and the Cancer energy. So it's really with the training we've had with 2019, because nodal energy tends to be 2-year frequency, and that we're rolling over. So it's like we've got double nodal energy when you look at it theoretically. So we're going to already be feeling the frequency of Gemini, which is Mercury, communication, Jupiter, wanting to expand, wanting to get things done. If you have been taking the steps, even if they're from a cognitive place, a very grounded place, the safest way to deal with January is if you're getting triggered from external sources, go back to source of where you need to be, okay? So that can be talking to gurus, it can be having time with yourself and, tuning out of white noise of that of which is triggering you. Know that this too shall pass. Do all you physically can within your means. And understand that everything does happen for a reason. It can be extremely frightening, though, when there's so many things coming at you. The things that are going to come up are the things you already have been working on, okay? But this is about making a physical choice, and I do feel, especially for masculine energies and feminine, it's literally, it's not one's right or wrong, but the key is already at your feet. It's right in front of your nose, but if you intuitively may already know that box is empty, right? And you've dealt with it. And it's like, it can be two things. It can be looking at it, Pandora's box, so to speak, because I was saying it literally does look like, the whole arches of, the devil card, when you do look at the devil card in tarot, depending on what deck you're looking at. And the box is at the bottom. So it depends on what your intuition's telling you. Potentially, look where he's looking. So his intuition's already telling him which arch to pick. And highlighted, this can be where we're multitasking in two areas. And it is a bit like the Justice as well, where you're having to make a judgment on what to do and how to proceed forward. Yet you have been dealing with Pandora's box, with a toxic situation for a very long time. So intuitively speaking, even if you don't know, you do need to make a decision. And you're going to have to walk through one of the doors, one of the arches, okay? Because in an imbalanced way, that won't go on forever, and it's coming to a crunch, to a threshold. So a choice is going to have to be made. Now, the outcome card is the Six of Wands. This is also, and every card has a blooming moon on it, and I don't know if it's because it's the deck, and I'll have to go through the rest of the deck. Let me just have a look. No, they don't. There you go. I'll show you. Moon in the background. Now look at the castle. This is past tense energy. I really do need to turn that off and let you guys see. Look, there's a moon in the background, right? And it's got flowers, red flowers coming out. There's also a castle in the background. And the funny thing is, from the castle, it's a bit like Rapunzel, right? Except there's a woman sitting down the bottom. The light is actually shining from the moon like an eclipse. It looks like an ice cream cone. I have to show you. So the castle's here, but there's a triangle going onto the moon, right? And the castle's here. There's a lotus flower in the forefront of the actual castle, and there is an owl directly behind her head. She is listening to the intuition, okay? Now, the cups are overflowing, but it's the reflective state we're all energetically going through. It's like we're moving into a state. Now, some of you might already be doing this. It's not to say when you're really tuned in, you will notice synchronistically, especially if you know the astrology and you're going, that's really strange. I mean, some of you would have already noticed a lot of Mercury-related dynamics. Now, I had to keep checking, and I talked to Mark from Intuitive Perceptions, and it was interesting. I kept saying, check what on earth is going on with Mercury. because I had noticed synchronistic patterns, and the more intuitive or connected you are, you notice these things. You understand the personality traits of the way planets work and affect our biorhythms, and you notice situations. Okay, so it's because in March the nodes are changing. And again, one thing I have noticed is because energetically we are directly tuning into 2020, hi Luciana, with the astrology. What you guys need to understand, and I want to give a shout out to a reader. What's that beautiful lady giggle that we listened to? The one that was talking about, you know, with the power that us as ascended energies, where we're getting to, it's powerful. We need to be very cautious. I've forgotten her name. I follow her. I love listening to different channels. So if Giggle can remember and she puts it out, I'll give the lady a shout out because she's got a beautiful channel. What's her name? Spiritual Ascension, is it? It's something Ascension. I know that. And all you see is the cards and she's speaking through, which is one thing I will be doing for mid-months. It's Ascension Tarot. Big shout out, beautiful. I do feel you're going to come into union this year. Just a feeling. Yeah, no, I love her channel. Anyway, it's very true. What you're going to have to understand is the further up into your journey you get, and what I've experienced this year is a lot of what you guys will experience this year coming, okay? And I'm kind of really glad because I've gone through a portion. So I'm hoping it's prepared me energetically, so God knows what I'm going to go through this year, where I can share my experience and hopefully you guys can gain some support through that situation of what I've gone through this year and potentially what I'm about to go through in 2020. But the one thing I have noticed is my manifesting techniques. You know, I did hit a snag and I talked to Luciana and she was saying to me to accept a dynamic, and I had to really, you know, kind of configure that, because when we're going through the 7 stages of healing, we're going through the egoic mind, we're trying to comprehend it. Once we are in detachment and acceptance is very personal. It's making peace with it, okay? Or not tuning into this is a forever situation. This is a temporary scenario that you're making peace with. It's adverse as heck, but it is not infinitely going to be a constant potentiality. Bang, it changes. But until you can actually understand how very strong you are, the further into your ascension you get, yes, there is great power. And the reason why this mindset doesn't come about right away is because with knowledge there is power, and with power you need to have the wisdom to control it, so that you're not, you know, moving back into that trigger point to do it to the detriment of other people. Do you understand? You will understand what I'm saying, okay? If you've got to that stage and you can like that manifest, you need to know that you've learnt lessons, that you can take accountability, that you know that your mindset can shift situations in under 24 hours. It's you need to be humble in that energy in doing it correctly, okay? So it happens and then you're quite shocked by it and you're like, okay. Because I had to, over the last 2 years, be very careful of what I was thinking, because some downloads would come and then some were occurring in 2.5 and it was like, wow, okay. So I'm very careful to come back to the now. And that's really why I was tuning into the reality that for you guys, a lot of what you're going to be working on in 2020 is becoming that energy of almost like a Buddhist monk, and you think it's not even potentially possible. You will, by the end of the year, get to that mindset. It won't happen right away, but it will be when nothing can navigate you, nothing can sway you from that frequency, that you understand everything happens for a reason. You will, and the funny thing is, before I even started the brief, this card was there, and I mentioned this in the Twin Flame Read. And regardless of twin flame or not, coming back to the now is really important, okay? And this card states, I am learning to catch my misalignment early. You will do this in 2020 moving forward, because it will be light bulb moments going off, okay? You will see the reason you have gone through this in 2019, for those of you that watch channels, is so that when these things happen, you do come from it and go, wow, I've been where that person's been. And you know that some things can only come through direct experience. You can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink unless that person has energetically had that experience. They can't comprehend. So these things come to us at the right time to help us shift energetically if we're able to. Do you understand? So every card is a moon, right? Past tense reflection. And I've been really saying for a while, the reason you're picking up on this Mercury energy and the energy with families and finances, and it could be gut-wrenching where you're feeling, a little bit nervous and then it's coming back down again, is because you're tuning into past, present, future, right? So you're channeling different energies because you're an open crown, right? So I was drinking a Turkish coffee to try and get this to come to you guys. Obviously, with the nodes playing out in Cancer and Capricorn, I'm trying to balance work. I'm trying to balance home. My daughter's on holidays. She's an Aquarian. The energies for Aquarius is going to be unique because it's 12th house activation. So the energy of what's going on with her, for me personally, I'm having to manage those energies. And I have Cancer on my chart. So I'm navigated by that too, obviously. So I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. So trying to balance those areas and make everything happy, still stay grounded, adhere to the responsibility when it comes to the Capricorn, and all of us collectively are going through that. Now, every card has a moon on it. That's 3 moons. Now, in astrology, they are talking about the aspects of good luck with last eclipse, right? Some of that is still going to play out, but it's not for the fickle-hearted. So what you've got to understand is what you're about to move through. And I don't know why I'm speaking further than January. And I'm not feeling that to be bad, but I am feeling, regardless of how you directly relate to January, is really, really going to count. Find your sacred space, okay? Create a little zone for yourself in your home where you can actually smudge stick it and it's neutral. You can take something as to a CD, some music, have some crystals in there. And if you're getting triggered, smudge stick yourself at that door before you walk in and then go and spend some time in quiet and just, don't focus on problems. Focus on a waterfall. Focus on anything but that direct issue, okay? Give your body time out. Upgrade it. And then go back out and deal with whatever it is. But you switch off when you go in there. If you can't do that, don't bother going in that room because you're then charging that room with that frequency. You don't want to be doing that. So create a sacred space for yourself. It can be a patch in your garden. It can be having your smudge stick. It can be having incense burning, green tea. Just something that is going to keep you as grounded as possible because, look, potentially a lot of people are going to be triggered. So if you understand it's collective energy and this too shall pass, it's going to help you. Now, we have no control over what happens globally, but we can change our frequency so that as a chain effect can then flow on to other individuals. And that can be including our kin, partners, and, even if you say from a very spiritual point of view, this too shall pass, or articulate to people, because people are going to take things out of context, where they're going to be thinking to themselves, why is this happening to me? And you will notice this within your family members, within your friendship groups, within your co-workers and peers. It could be at daycare. You're going to be seeing this. Toxic energies will become more toxic, okay? Because this does navigate sort of like D-Day, if you want to really look at it. So there's one quote here, okay? The ruthless will become more ruthless. It suggests the strong will consolidate their power. The rich will become richer, the poor will become poorer. That doesn't just have to be at a financial level. It's literally like the animal kingdom. Spiritually speaking, abundance comes from, from the inner abundance, right? And we directly manifest from that manner. What we hold as sacred and special is that what navigates us forward, because money comes and goes. That's a reality. But our belief of what we can co-create in our hands, in our mind, is our power. Nobody can take that from us. So if you can get grounded to understand that and always put your back into situations and put your best foot forward, you're always going to be okay. But if the attitude then is toxic and you're looking at it very similar to this card here, which is, I've lost this, I've lost that. Yes, you have, but you have a new day. You have a new dawn. There's a castle, there's a moon. There's all these things that is so close. But if you give up, then you're missing the point, because the gifts aren't just in the finances. The gifts are in your spirituality, your freedom, you achieving goals and targets. You being with the love of your life, you having some hopes and dreams. But if you quit, you're not going to achieve those things. What if it's 2 steps and you've literally missed that boat because you quit? You know, you've got to ask yourself if you're prepared for, you know, for what you need to do. And these 2 archers, having a choice, you know, spreading yourself too fine, drop the dead wood. Especially with that Pandora's box at the base of the foot. It's like, look, if something's not working, you or another person is going to see that factor. And if they don't, that's going to be their energy they're going to have to deal with. They'll be looking at it going, oh, God, why the devil did I pick this? Bitten off a bit too much than I can chew here. It's a mess. The energy of the moon, for some, okay, this is present tense January, right? As I said, you need to use your intuition about how this card imagery is playing out for you. Now, to me, it looks like Judgment with the archers. They do deem it in the actual deck as the twins. The aspect of the moon with the eclipse is making aspects to Gemini, which again is Mercury, which is twins, right, in general. That kind of worries me. Anyway, let's get away from that. I'm not going to tune into that because, as I said, manifestation, not thinking of it. With the moon, the eclipse is in Cancer. What is the person doing? They're turning away from that. Okay, they're turning away from that. Why are they turning away from it? Because the situation that is balanced, if it can't be balanced and you go to it and you're multitasking and you're doing the best you can and it's out of your hands, what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to walk away from it, because Pandora's box has been sitting at the feet, like my daughter walking in the door. How long's a piece of string, Giggle? Do you want to come and hang out with me and help Mum read?
Not really.
Okay, I'll be about 15.
That's a long time.
My daughter's at the door. She wants to know whether she's losing weight. See, Cancer nodes. This is my pretty girl, Shanice. Say hello, YouTube. Happy New Year.
Hi, Happy New Year.
If it wasn't for my daughter making sacrifices, I wouldn't be here half the time. But
No.
I make her sad sometimes.
These
Yes, you look
jeans are
beautiful.
really cute. Like...
She always looks fabulous, Giggle, because she has more time to do her makeup than me, because I'm always working and cleaning.
I feel my hair. Look how fluffy it is.
She has hair like I used to when I was younger, till I got poisoned and I had to use henna.
It's fluffy because I did it.
Oh, it's fluffy.
Yeah, what are they?
You have to see Giggle's makeup, because I'm telling you, get out of it. You're so
Follow me on
vain.
Facebook, Shanice Robinson. Woo.
Did you hear that?
Can you be fast though?
Not if you keep interrupting me, because I need to tune. Cute till you have to live with her. Different than Giggle knows. She knows it well. So does 4A. Okay, so the energy coming through. It's so weird because there's a dead crow here too. I mean, I'm trying to get it in the light and have a good look. But at the very corner here, there's actually a dead crow sitting on the... So this box is like black magic, right? And this person's now looking at that and like, regardless, moving through this adversity. Yeah, okay? And that's, with Pandora's box, it's like it's at the feet. Sort of like, yeah, I opened Pandora's box up. All this energy is coming out. It can be people around you being toxic. But again, I just think it's really unique that the energy of the person in the card is turning their back to this energy, right? She ain't no girl, man. She's 30 in her mind, and she wonders why I try and parent her. I can't do it. She's stubborn. And everyone says, oh, just like her mother. No, I was not raised that way. I was not stubborn. I did what my parents told me. Different generation. Oh, yeah, she can't, trust me. Now, with the 6 of Wands, again, moon. And I'm feeling third-party energy. I'm telling you, because I pulled 3 cards. There's 3 moons, 2, victory, 3. Okay? I'm feeling legalities connected to this situation. This can also be energies of communication being toxic, right? This can be surrounding 5 people, including the external person. And also having to use a sword in a situation. This, I'm feeling it's by the Aquarius moon. Okay? 4 years apart. How you been doing anyway, Stefan? Okay, now the Neptunian energy, as I mentioned, it is going to help with the compassion aspect of things, okay? At a global level, it can cause triggers. But it is quite ruthless, okay, with the eclipse. So be very careful with the people you're surrounding yourself with. Whatever you're working on, okay, so this 4 of Cups energy, the clarification is healing, okay? Let it go. If it can't be fixed, don't worry about it. So he buys me a phone so I can use it for YouTube, and then he calls me on it. 2 of Wands. For those of you that don't know, I'm a twin flame and I'm in yin, so my twin was calling me. Okay, so with this card, you're going to see the truth of the situation. Marker's red. Sorry. You're going to see a truth of the situation because you've got falseness in reverse, which means some people's true colours are going to be showing their ugly head. And this person's going to see the truth of a matter. This can be you, them, everyone with direct situations. What decision to make? Follow your intuition. Look closely. Trust it, right? By the time you work through this adversity, what you're going to find is there's going to be consistency. This is winning. This is celebration. This is you directly moving through that obstacle, and the reef is there, okay? So from Christmas to then, we've already had Christmas. By July, your life is going to be completely different, and it's not going to take that long. Now, the eclipse energy of what you're working on, there'll be a shake-up in January, right? Eclipse energy in a theoretical level, so it can create a shift. So it's going to create a shift in some shape or form. Your zodiac signs, they've got information in it as to the aspects, crystals to use per zodiac sign. Look at sun, moon, rising. You can also, if you need to, look at your Venus. And then get those crystals, take the suggestions, and then use the tools that I've tried to give you guys for January, okay? I also have mentioned aspects that are going to happen in a brief sense for 2020 to help you get a kind of a big picture as to some of those things happening. Now, with an eclipse, it goes from 6 months and it rolls over, easy 6 months to a year, and it continues playing out. So it's not saying that things aren't changing by the end of that month. It's saying something's cleared out to have your dreams move forward if you do the work, if you rise to the challenge. And it's, like I said, Leo King's been mentioning this, not for the fickle-hearted. Follow your intuition, okay? You'll know what to do. Any questions? But I am feeling karmics rearing their ugly head. And when I say karmics, this can be energies, toxic energies in general. Yep, change in direction. Any questions? Thank you. Yeah, okay. The reason I have set it as the 1st of January, I was mentioning to you guys before, being in the moment. You know, we do have information on YouTube. There's hundreds of channels, right? But the thing is of what I'm tuning into. Okay, give me 5. The thing I'm tuning into with the energy of us thinking of the future is the fact that we energetically are there right now, which can, you're channeling it. So if the energy's coming too soon, you haven't done the purge stage of what some people are meant to do by the end of the year to prepare you. So your body has that natural biorhythm. If those videos are to come out too soon, I don't want to prevent that. So coming at the 1st of January, you're staying in the moment. You're getting yourself grounded, which is what I'd hope you would do. To move into the new year, whatever comes up, allow that of which to come up, let it come up. And then step into that new year, clear your home, prepare, move forward, keep your water fluid intake up, because there's a lot of crown chakra activation. Caution with your throat chakra. I've mentioned crystals to use. And just be mindful of your surroundings. If you do get triggered and there's crap on the news, tune out of it. Okay? That of what is out of your control, you can't do anything about it. So keep grounded so that you can put your energy in the best foot forward. Okay? Giggle. What do you want to know? What are they doing? I'm seeing a house, a different house to what I've seen before with this person in it. There is a bar in this house. It seems like a basement. I don't know whether this is a home that they're living at or a room. And it's to do with New Year's. I feel it's connected to a person that is there. Now, I'm seeing a basement, and you walk downstairs and the bar is off to the left, but you can look at it straight on. He's standing there and he's next to another individual. It's a male individual, and he's talking to this person. And the first card that came out is in relation to whatever he's dealing with, leaving it behind. Okay? But he's there. He's left a situation, whatever he was dealing with, and he is talking to a friend. He's reining the new year in with a different person. Okay? But it's a friend. This is a male energy. It feels... This is someone he's known for a very long time. About the same height as him. Broad shoulders. Browny blonde hair. It's kind of spiky, okay? That's what I got. But yeah, not upset about it. Like, just no, it's not working. I'm not doing that. It's very normal for you guys to be having no appetite and being nauseated. That's where I was last year towards Christmas, New Year's. Very nauseated because you're purging. What you're actually purging is not only, it can be directly connected to Tia, for those of you, I mean, this is a general read connected to the collective for the astrology, but in an ascension symptom ratio, it's very natural for that to be happening. So go with the flow. But definitely, if you do really get concerned about it, get some blood works done. Because, you know, by the time I'd gone through that transitional state of purging, I was purging through each chakra. And I was eating vegetarian predominantly. But a lot of kale, a lot of mushrooms. My iron had completely dropped and I needed an infusion. So, yes, it can be a sign that you're low on iron. But also from a spiritual point of view, naturally I was like repelling meat. You do find that as you're having your purge after and you've upgraded, you will need that, okay? So your body is basically purging up the past, right? So once you've purged that out, it's like I don't mean to be vulgar, it's like you're throwing your old life up and out. Once that's occurred, you've cleansed, right? You're completely cleansed. You're squeezed out. What you put in now has been to detoxify those chakra systems, the mindsets, the situations, the energy you've been getting in a download to upgrade you, which is why you go, can't sleep, got to sleep, can't sleep. It's like changing your rhythm. By the time you move into 2020, that energy is going to shift, and you find certain food groups will be reincorporated, especially for those of you on a scarred path that do reconnect with TF. The diet will change again, okay? You'll be surprised, but I still like vegetarian. I still prefer vegetarian, but he's meat. And I do need that, obviously, but I prefer vegetarian over anything. And I know I listen to my body, but you are highly advised. And the one message that did come through, which was ironic because I thought, oh, I'll do a Turkish coffee for the breed. First thing that I heard in my head was detox off caffeine, but don't do it quickly, okay? Don't do it quickly, but be cautious with caffeine. And I'd say instead of quitting it, just incorporate more fluid, because with the energy of next year, the eclipses, crown chakra activation, intuition, you're going to need the fluid. But get into light body frequency. Have your little toolkit ready to go so you can handle it. My animal's already playing up, ready to go. Yeah, it's very natural. Okay, it's completely what I did. You know, what was going on with my body. It's very natural. So that's why I'm actually quite excited for you guys, because I've seen a lot of synchronicities about where I was last year. And you'll come to this innate state of being really, really happy and just very happy in the moment. Go the chamomile tea. Yeah, you're going to need those a toolkit in there for 2020. Yeah. Yes, but again, it is because of where you are. Look, you energetically, there's the spiritual aspect, there's also, you know, your body, right? So each person's biomakeup will be different, as well as the spirituality. So we can't discount one, we can't discount the other. We've got to look at both. Each body is individual. You will get to a point where you will reincorporate these things. Look, the third eye headache has been directly for me tuning into 2020, and also when I'm tuning into the collective energy, it comes on out of nowhere. But again, the astrology, the moon energy, the sinuses have been playing it, the temple headache, third eye, and I'm not thinking about anything. Apart from when I go to channel energy, it's occurring right away. Back of the head, third eye, sinuses, which means the pressure in the air is getting like more intense. Lower back, which again, nodes being in Cancer, family, Saturn. I mean, for Australia, it's very solar plexus, and that is very much to do with inner child, etc. That is the key location, you know, on the map. That is, Uluru is connected to solar plexus. But I will do a video separate to that, and it also connects in with the astrology, etc. And I am noticing a change with the place. So yes, weather frequency can change, especially with the Mercury aspects. It can be an activation of the plates. Weather patterns can change 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out. And again, because it's a double whammy, it can move through to February. So you can notice tectonic plate shifts, you can notice ocean changes, weather changes. I mean, for us in Australia, it's weird. We usually have 106, 105, 110 Fahrenheit. It's now moved to lower, half that. So it's like the beginning of an Australian summer for us. So it's due to the eclipse, and that wasn't even a heavy eclipse. We're moving into the lunar eclipse, and it's heavier. And the percentage ratio for Darwin was, I believe, at 36%, which is still like very slight. And you are noticing changes around the lower hemisphere of the globe going on. Definitely with New Zealand, you know, the eruption, etc. You know, my thought and love to them. But you do notice patterns both at the below and above when these eclipse patterns are happening. And definitely with Neptune, worse. With Pluto and Saturn, yes, it can cause dynamics. So just be mindful of that, okay? And then the cognitive aspects that will be bringing through in this eclipse, you do need to be careful. Use your intuition of who to be around. If you notice something, report it, you know. Just be careful. Be really mindful in January. Yeah, be really careful in January. Okay, I love yous all. Take very good care of yourselves. Move into the year with whatever comes up in you. My highest advice. I will see you on the other side. The video is recorded, so for me it will be my tomorrow night. For you guys it'll be your tomorrow morning. In America, that is. Depending on where you are in the world. The videos will be launched and I'll try and sit there, you know, update all of you guys. I'm having a New Year's Eve tonight and it's going to be quite low-key. Getting ready for 2020. I'll be thinking of this. Love you too, guys. Look after yourself, please. I will be thinking of you. Keep very safe and look after yourselves. I'll see you on the other side.